Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing? I'm back again, reading out of the book of Expert Secrets, and we're going to be reading Secret Pound number 2, The Cause. The Cause. And here's a picture of the cause. The cause. Future, the cause, your culture. The second piece you need in order to create a massive movement in your future-based cause for every political, social, or religious movement throughout history. The charismatic leader paints a picture of the future they are trying to create and what life will be like when they get there. As I mentioned before about the Inner Circle Mastermind group, spends a lot of time talking about building out your own culture. I hyphenated the word because I don't want you to look at this like a traditional business trying to build customers' culture. They're very different. When I got serious about growing my company and taking my messages to the masses, I studied how cults, both positive and negative, were built. I discovered several common threads running through all their stories. Elements there are so much more powerful than anything you'll ever read about building customer culture in a traditional sense. We're going to look at these elements and how to include them in your business to create your own positive movement, your own culture, creating a passive movement. And here's a picture of creating a passive movement, if y'all can see it. And it begins with creating a massive movement, the course, your culture, the future, charismatic leader, attractive character, which we talked about one time before in the one of my episodes, new opportunity, the vehicle of change, and we talked about the vehicle of change. If you want to start your online business, you have to make a change. Our job as an expert and a leader is to help bring people to a higher ground, to move them from where they are to where they want to be. In this book, the true believer Eric Hofner says, fear of the future causes us to lean against and cling to the present, while faith in the future renders us perspective to change. In circumstances where people fear the future, they typically stop moving forward. And that's something you cannot do when you're trying to build your online business. You can't stop. You got to move forward. For you to have success in this business, you have to give your followers hope of something better so they will be perceptive to change you are going to offer them. You do that by painting a vision of the future they want. And this reminds me of giving your customers an offer. I was on a webinar yesterday, and when the webinar began, the offer was up there, and I never known for a person to put an offer up before they do the webinar. You always do the webinar, and then you do the offer to see if your customers will purchase your product that you're selling. Most people want to cast out all their faith and personal responsibilities into something bigger than themselves. It happens in religion. It happens in political movement. Excuse me. It happens in the workplace, and it will be true for you, for your movement as well. People want to plug into something bigger than themselves, so it's your job to create that vision. Here are a few key principles that will help you create your future-based cause. Number one, you can write this down if you want to. Where can they place their hope and faith? Earlier today, I watched the Star Wars movie Rouge One with my kids. Early in the movie, K-son Ander is walking with giant Esro on the way to tried to get a meeting with Saul Jera, who they thought would be the key to their rebellion. Kayson says to John, "Well, give your name and hope that gets us a meeting with Saul." Hope John asks. Yeah, Kayson replies, "Rebellious are built in hope." Then later in the movie, when Giant is speaking to the rebellion, council trying to get them to fight before it's too late, she says, "We need to capture the depth of Star Plans if there is any hope of destroying it. You're asking us to invade an in-person installation based on nothing but hope," they ask. Then the response, "Rebellious or built on hope." Both those scenes were very moving to me, but I thought more about that phrase, rebellious or built on hope. I realized that not only rebellious, but all mass movements are built on hope, and it's essential that we create the hope in the future. Because without hope, they can't have faith necessary to move forward and make a change. As they say in the as they say in Proverbs 29 and 18, where there is no vision, the people will perish. If you have watched the elections over the past few decades, you'll notice that the candidates who win do so because of their ability to create a vision of the future that people want the most. In 1992, George Bush had a proud tradition while Bill Clinton's was "It's time to change America." In 2008, John McCain was country first, while Barack Obama's motto was change we need. In 2016, Hillary Clinton used "I am with her" and stronger together, while Donald Trump said he would make America great again. Notice how the winners cast a compelling vision of the future, where the losers focus more on the present, aggressively enough, as you will see in Secret Pound number 3. Both these winners are presented a new opportunity where the losers were offered improvement. As we started to build our culture with ClickFunnels, I wanted to create something that would unite all of our members and give them faith and hope in the future with us. If I'm honest, I didn't know I needed this at first and actually stumbled upon it one day. But the minute we discovered it, it instantly cast a compelling vision of the future in the united of our members. We are about to launch our third annual Funnel Hacking Live event, and I was trying to think of a headline for the sales page. I remember reading a story about the late Gary Halbert when I first started my business, where he said, You are only one sales letter away from striking it rich." That is so awesome. I know that for that statement created a vision that got me excited. I didn't know which sales letter or product it would be before me, but I had a perfect hope that if I would just keep trying, something would work. I created faith in my mind that I was working towards what was real. And that's what I'm doing. I'm working towards what is real. And even though I failed over and over again, that thought kept me moving forward through the ups and downs I experienced in my career. You're going to have some ups and downs. You're going to have some failures. But if you really want to make it and be determined, you got to keep on moving forward. As I remember that, as I remember what that statement did for me all of those years ago, I started with that idea and tried to figure out how to create something similar for my members. After thinking about it for a while, I eventually wrote out a headline that said, "You're just one funnel away from being rich." And Russell Brunson, he does have a program It's called funnel hacking. And I also want to say about the niche and the products. When you go online, everybody they are a lot is confusing to them. These systems are digital systems. They can do the work for you or you can do it yourself. As I looked at it, for some reason, I didn't feel it. I know that some people create sales funnels to get rich, but the majority of our members created companies and use sales funnels not just to get rich, but importantly, to change the lives of their customers. So I went back to the drawing board. I wrote and rewrote the headline dozens of times. You're just one funnel away from quitting your job. You're just one funnel away from financial freedom. You're just one funnel away from growing your business to the next level. You're just one funnel away from sharing your message with more people. And that's what you want to be able to do is share your message with more people. Excuse me. The more I wrote, the more I realized that no matter what I wrote, it only would reach a percentage of my members. So I deleted the end of the sentence, hoping for someone inspiration. And after sitting there for 10 or 15 minutes, I looked back up and saw something interesting. The headline read, "You're just one funnel away." That was it, because having a funnel means something different to everyone, but not qualifying for it. I left it open for the interpretation, so each person could finish the sentence for themselves. If their compelling future was to quit their job, then that in the future I'm offering them. If their compelling future is to share their message with more people and try to change the world, then that is the future I'm offering that person. At our last funnel hacking live event, I told stories that showed how his vision was true for me. I talked about each of the major failures that I had during my career and how each time I was literally saved by a funnel. Twice I've been on the brink of bankruptcy, and both times one funnel got me back on the top. Multiple times I made poor decisions that could have and probably should have ruined me, but a funnel saved me. And if for y'all who don't know what a funnel is, it's a sales funnel that runs off a digital system in the online marketing world. I shared a story after story about that was true for me in the hope that it would give them hope of what's possible. I now use this message in all my communications with my audience. I sign off my videos by saying, remember, you're just one funnel away. I've added it at the end of every email I send out. In the theme of our events, it's a constant call out to our tribe, reminding them of the vision that they have put their faith and hope into. And we talked about building a tribe. To create this, I want you to imagine that you're running for president and think about what the slogan would be for your campaign. What do your people really want? Where do they want to go? How can you capture that in a simple calling you could put on a campaign sign? And number two, we're going to continue to read about number two in the next episode, and it's called Help Them Break Their 4-Minute Mile. And I hope you all got some education out of the book of expert secrets. And I'll talk to you all tomorrow, and we'll dig deeper in this book.